Hello, my name is Brian Chang, and this is my deep empathy project titled To Truly See The Power of Bearing Witness Through Empathy. When I first read Sylvia Plath's The Bell Jar, I honestly didn't expect to feel so seen. The novel follows Esther Greenwood, a young woman grappling with her identity, mental health, and the pressures that society places on her. Though the book was published in the 1960s, Esther's internal struggles still felt very relevant and relatable. She's ambitious but uncertain, surrounded by expectations yet quietly falling apart. And that sense of silent unraveling, the feeling that something inside you is breaking, but the world keeps asking you to move on and smile, hit incredibly close to me. As I read the guidelines and goals for this project, I immediately knew that I wanted to share my experience with how the closest people around me displayed deep empathy to my grief, as well as what it meant to truly bear witness to someone's pain. In her TED Talk, Sakina Hoffler describes bearing witness as not just seeing someone suffering, but recording it, acknowledging it, and validating it as real. I've realized that bearing witness also means listening with your whole heart, even when there are no real answers to give. It means letting someone say, "I'm not okay," without trying to diagnose or fix them. And that message resonates deeply with me because of what I've personally gone through within the last few years. Within the last few years, I lost both of my grandfathers, and those losses weren't just hard, but they were extremely disorienting. It felt like a part of my foundation had been taken away, but the world kept moving regardless. Friends and family continued to live their lives. I had homework and tests to study for, but life didn't pause. But the grief stayed, and it still stays. And what I've learned is that healing doesn't come all at once, nor does it follow a straight linear path. Sometimes healing is just having someone by your side while you're still hurting. And that's why one of the moments in The Bell Jar stood out to me. It was Esther's relationship with Dr. Nolan. And throughout the story, most of the people in Esther's life, like her mother, her other doctors, and even her friends, never truly see her. They either tried to fix her or deny that anything's wrong in the first place. But Dr. Nolan is different. A line Dr. Nolan says around the time of Esther's shock treatment really caught my attention. In this scene, even Esther took notice of Dr. Nolan's dedication, as she assured her by saying, "I'm going over with you. I'll be there the whole time, so everything will happen right, the way I promised. I'll be there when you wake up, and I'll bring you back again." That line, as small and throwaway as it may seem, carried an enormous weight to me. In this moment, Esther finally feels safe enough to go down the path of healing because someone acknowledges her pain instead of trying to minimize it. And to me, that came across as real and genuine, deep empathy. And it's that same kind of empathy that I saw in my best friend Chris. After I lost my grandfather, I grew quite numb. And when I lost my second grandfather, the pain resurfaced all over again. And it was just sharper and more disorienting this time around as well. But both times, Chris didn't try to cheer me up. or talk me out of the sadness, but he just listened. And I remember sitting on the phone with him, sometimes rambling about my frustrations or my sadness and regrets, and sometimes it would just be complete silence. Regardless, he would always be there listening to whatever I had to say and constantly reassured me by telling me that he was here. And that was enough. Like Dr. Nolan, he didn't try to carry my pain. He simply sat with me in it. And through that, he helped me to begin processing that pain. Reading The Bell Jar while reflecting on Hoffler's idea of bearing witness made me realize something important. Storytelling itself is an act of empathy. Sylvia Plath wrote from a place of deep personal truth, and in doing so, she created a space where readers, especially young people, could see their own struggles reflected. Esther's story gives language to the things we often keep silent, whether it be depression, isolation, or societal pressure. It tells us that we are not alone and that what we feel is real, as well as that our pain deserves to be acknowledged. And that's why I believe older literature like The Bell Jar remains very relevant. For many young adults today, the pressure to succeed, appear happy, and to constantly meet others' expectations is nothing short of overwhelming. Mental issues are still stigmatized, and often we feel like we can't talk about what we're really going through. But Plath's novel reminds us that these struggles aren't new, and most importantly, they're not shameful. By sharing Esther's story, Plath was able to bear witness, and by reading it, we do too. In Sakina Hoffler's words, writing it down captures the memory. Writing it down acknowledges its existence. That's what The Bell Jar does. That's what I'm trying to do with this project. Sharing our stories of loss, of pain, of surviving isn't just cathartic, but it creates connection as well. It opens the door for someone else to say, I felt that too. And ultimately, that's what deep empathy is about. It's not about solving someone's problems. It's about recognizing them and showing up, not with answers, but with presence, being there. Whether it's Esther and Dr. Nolan, or me and Chris, or Sakina Hoffler recounting moments of pain in her own life. These acts of witness matter. They help us hold space for each other's truths. They help us heal slowly and imperfectly together. So if there's one thing I hope people take away from this project, it's that your story matters. Your pain matters. And someone somewhere is ready to listen. Sometimes the most powerful thing we can do is simply bear witness, and in doing so, offer each other the gift of deep empathy. Thank you so much for listening.